Why would I need to go to a conference? Which could be fun, and I think it's fun, but obviously also it's not easy. The traveling and leaving your family behind. Why would I need to do that when I could just, put up ads or create videos and reach hundreds and thousands of people at the same time?
Going to the conference is not fun, at least not from our point of view.
There are some conferences that are better than others. Let's be frank. And there are some that's probably a complete waste of time. Most probably 80 to 90% of people that could go to a certain conference come back and be like, I'm not gonna go back. When we finally get to meet those people that we haven't met, that we've been able to have relationships over online, and we finally get to meet them, it's my favorite part.
Welcome to my legal academy, helping lawyers work smart, scale fast, and enjoy life.
I have a question for you. You
Yeah.
still were saying that in your last coaching session through a legal funnel, you had like 300 or 400 attorneys on the session, and sometimes you have
Yeah.
a couple of hundred, 300. How many of those attorneys were working from home? What's your estimation of how many of those 300 attorneys who join your session or actually people who go to their office or somebody else's office?
That's a good question. I've never been able to collect that data. My estimation, from what it seems like, I think 90%. I don't know. I think I'm just be estimating.
Basically trying to figure out the demographic of the attorneys who follow you or join your sessions, because that also ties into AI. So when you have 300 of attorneys sitting there, just collecting their demographic, like some things like we said about how many of them working from the office, how many of them worked on other law firms before they set up their law firms. And all of those things, I think it is a perfect demographic information for you to find out and be able to target similar folks. But imagine you feeding that into an AI platform. This AI platform going to find out every identical person to that 300 people and bring you 3,000 of them and say, this is not 3,000 on the top of that 300 you had.
Yeah.
You should be coaching and working with them also.
Well, Facebook has that.
Yes, they
Yeah,
do the
yeah.
targeting, but they
Yeah.
still don't use the AI for that.
They do.
They use the data. There's a data mining that they do. I'm sure they have bridged into some AI platform for it, but this is something that is going to be available to everybody. What they have to be as a proprietary for a multi-billion-dollar company resource is going to be like available to you. So you can do the same thing that a Facebook does.
Nice. Let's bring up another trend that we brought up earlier, that we talked before this, but it's the trend with conferences. So Hamid, this will be kind of fun because Hamid has been going to conferences for the last couple of years, and I've kind of stayed back, and I've been kind of focusing more on the virtual scene.
Absolutely. When I
Yeah.
was in the
Yeah.
high-tech industry, we had like, I don't know, 30, 40 conferences a year for the entire high-tech industry.
out of those-
Hardware, software, firmware, communication, all that stuff.
And how many would you go per year?
I would go probably to like 4 or 5 a year.
Okay, that's not bad. I thought you were gonna say like 10, 15.
No, because there aren't that many.
Yeah.
So when I came to the law industry, I figured out it was a smaller market than the high-tech, because high-tech is international. People come from all over the world. And I started looking at the conferences, and I thought, well, maybe I can find 30, 40, 50, 100. God, I don't know how to count it anymore. It's like there's a tremendous amount of conferences of any type or shape for the legal industry. So when we started with the legal side, we started sort of prioritizing and then going to them, and then a whole bunch of different crowd comes and goes. And I got to analyze it to see, is this really all productive? Is this really add value, or do you get any ROI from this stuff? Not only from the exhibitor point of view, also from the attendees. Half of the attendees sort of like lost, and it looked like they want to get away from the office, and they just showed up, and they don't have any goals or objective to be at that session. But is a trend, and I'm seeing it growing and growing, and more comes about. It's almost like a getaway thing for the attorneys. So that was an issue that I realized, and now we go to about 2-3 conferences a month just from LegalSoft point of view benefits, but it's crazy how many of them are there.
And I feel like, and then I've taken the other route, the more of the virtual route. Is like, why would I need to go to a conference? Which could be fun, and I think it's fun, but obviously also it's not easy. The traveling and leaving your family behind. Why would I need to do that when I could just, put up ads or create videos and reach hundreds and thousands of people at the same time, with less effort, essentially. But I feel like I also at the same time built up now this network that I had people that know me, that have been nurtured and been hearing my voice and see my voice. And I feel like I'm like, what's gonna happen when I finally show up in person? What's gonna happen? It'll be kind of interesting. But we decided also we have in our plans in our pipeline to be able to create our own live event.
Right.
And we have our own vision with this. And I, kind of seeing these conferences from an outside perspective and hearing about it it seems like very traditional. It's always the hotel. It's always hundreds of people with booths and these lectures, and you have gift baskets or whatever. There's things that people give away. It's like in my head I'm like so typical, and that's the reason why I came to the scene, is to disrupt this whole thing and like come up with a better way, more efficient way, more fun way, more social way to do this. So when we were having meetings for us to sit this together, I'm like, listen, the most important thing is I want to make sure that it's different and that it's fun.
It has value.
And has
it
value.
brings value.
Yeah, but fun first before value.
By the way, correction is going to the conference is not fun. At least not from our point of view. It's a lot of work, a lot of a lot of labor.
Yeah.
Even for the people who just say they live their practice, they live their family, they live their routine, and they go to the conference. It's expensive. They have to pay for it and everything. But this has some value. Some of the value that I noticed, I 100% on your camp about the virtual is great, but a lot of the people who come to conferences are the people who are not reachable per se online. They're sort of closed about that. It's like they want to go and meet people in person. Or the conversations I have with attendees at the conference is very different than ones I have on the Zoom. It's more engaging and it's more in depth. And if you look like we both want to get something out of this conversation or out of this conference because we both paid money and spent time to get here, so we have more value for that time that we're spending together.
Hey, hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you're a lawyer and you're looking to work smart, scale fast, and enjoy life, right below this video, you'll find a link to book a call to speak to my team so we can tell you how we've been able to help over 500 law firm owners scale their law firm. Now back to the video.
So that's the one I found the most. And the second part is at one shot in one day, being exposed not to a lot of people, also a lot of different services and technologies and providers, which I would typically not go online and search for. It sort of like hits you in the face, but you say, oh, I didn't know there was a service for that, or that kind of software exists, or something like that. So those are the added benefits. But to the point of saying it's saturated, it's definitely saturated. There's like just way too many.
There are some conferences that are better than others. Let's be frank. And there are some that's probably a complete waste of time. Most probably 80-90% of people that could go to a certain conference come back and be like, I'm not gonna go back. And what we're trying to do, I think what we're trying to do is we want to make people feel good when people come to our live event. I wouldn't think about it. It's not a conference. It's a live event. Get to meet each other in person, have fun. But I want people to feel amazing when they leave, and because people most of the time remember how they feel, not necessarily what you said. So I think that comes, it's foremost first before we even get into the content side of things.
They got to look at the ROI from it. It doesn't matter anything. It's the investment of time and resources. When you're going to attend these things, and making sure you're going to the tracks that is really benefits your practice, and you're just sitting there listening, or when you don't pay attention, you don't like it. So it's very important to be going to the ones that is going to add value to yourself as a person and as a practice.
Totally. And I could attest that when we finally get to meet those people that we haven't met, that we've been able to have relationships over online, and we finally get to meet them, it's my favorite part. One of my favorite part of like doing this is finally getting to meeting the people that I've built up so much relationship through online. So it's a lot of fun, and it's like always the times like it's the most enjoyable by far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Is there any other trends that you see?
Well,
talked about conferences, talked about elimination of some certain jobs.
Well, the biggest trend that we always talked about, and me and you were both huge advocate and users of it, is this virtual thing, this virtual staffing, virtual resources. Technology is doing things for you virtually. It's like that virtual law firm, like we talked about, with AI, without AI, everything, eventually is going to be 90% virtual. And that's the biggest trend. And when you look at all the publications, all the books, all the conferences, all the masterminds, I have a list of like 180 masterminds in the legal industry. and 90% of them have a track on virtual something. So that's definitely a big trend, and it's going to go on and it's going to grow until it's completed, just like the dot-com era. Now it's like dot-com is given for the past 20 years, but it was a big trend, it was a boom, and it happened. The virtual is not that.
And all this technology and virtual and all these systems and things that we talk about, I think also consolidates the entire market, because the people that really are open and apply these things that are, again, things are constantly evolving, you either adapt or you literally die. So definitely it'll be a big disparity between the people that grow from this or the people that
Going to be left behind.
Yeah, left behind. So
There's going to be I would say there's going to like a 50-50 split there.
mine is
There's
going to be
gonna
80-20. The 80-20, I feel like it comes anywhere in life, especially when it comes to growth and success. So I want the people that are like follow us and are engaged with us to be part of that 20%. Let's make a bunch of, we want to be that 20%, and let's the market be the 80%.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right. Well, it's been fun.
It's been great.
We'll continue doing these on Thursdays. And again, if there's any certain topics or things you want us to cover, let us know. If not, we'll come up with our own topics and keep it going. We'll always try to share all the behind the scenes, kind of big picture kind of stuff and things that people don't really talk about. Appreciate it.
Sounds good.